Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Lauren, and today we are going on to my 5th day of decluttering, and today is the big whammy. I'm going to be tackling all of my eyeshadow palettes. If you could see around me, I'm surrounded by eyeshadow palettes. I believe I have 71 pre-made palettes of all different sizes. Some are really large, some are a little bit tinier. Technically, I think that's one less than highlighters I had, so I don't know what that says. Take that as you will. We're going to go by brand and let's just get started. I guess we'll start off first with Alter Ego. I have 3 of their palettes. This first one here is the Goddess palette, and this is a dupe of the Natasha Denona gold palette. I'm definitely keeping this one. I think it's really beautiful, and although I've heard that the shimmers in here don't quite compare to the Natasha Denona, I do still think that these really glimmery shades are very beautiful, and they did a very good job, especially for the price difference. So definitely keeping that. Plus, I don't have the Natasha Denona gold palette, so this is what, you know, the closest I have so far. Next, Sahara. I'm also going to be keeping Sahara. It is so pretty. It's a dupe of the Biba palette, and I love that there are some more cool tones. These are kind of warm still, like kind of ready. And then this is like almost like mustard. It's just a very, very well done, beautiful palette. So keeping that. And then last is Aurora, and this one I actually almost decluttered and then I kept, and I think I'm still gonna keep it. It's not like my #1 color story, but I think it's something that I've been more into lately, and I'd rather keep this one I have than to get rid of this and then be like, I don't have anything like it, and then be tempted to buy other things. I would way rather dip into something I already have. So I'm gonna keep that one as well. I have really enjoyed the Alter Ego formula. So yeah, those I think are really solid palettes. Next, let's talk about Melt. I have 2 different like eyeshadow palettes. I mean, this is one of their, it's a stack, and this is the Shapeshift stack. I am going to be decluttering this. Unfortunately, it did not go well for me. Every time I've tried, like even looking at it in monitor right now, it is so beautiful and I want to keep it. But it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me, so I have to get rid of that guy. Smoke Sessions, on the other hand, although the formula is not necessarily my favorite, I do really enjoy the color scheme of this palette, and it is very inspiring for me. So I am going to keep this one around. It's a very crumbly formula, but overall I'm going to keep it, and I definitely think I can get a lot more use out of this. All right, next we have some Juvia's Place palettes. I know for sure I want to keep the Sahara. This is my favorite palette, I think, from them. I love the color story. I think that it's just done really well. So yeah, I'm definitely keeping that. I know I definitely want to keep this one here, the Magic Mini. I have a 3 looks 1 palette with this if you are interested in some like inspiration. I love this. I think it's really beautiful. I love the warm tones mixed with the cool tones. It's just a great palette. And then I also really do love this one. This is the Zulu. I still have on my list to do a video using the colors across, so it's still on my list. I just have a million videos to film. So definitely keeping that. For these 2, I love both of these, but I'm gonna try to be good. So this is the Warrior 2. It's an all matte palette. I think it's so stunning, right? Like, I think it's so pretty. I had this in my kit for a really long time. I really love this shade up here. I don't know what I want to do. I think I'm going to put it in the maybe pile right now, only because I know I have these shades over in my collection. It's not like I'm going to necessarily reach for this. They're such huge pans. I don't know. I just think like if I'm really trying to pare down to like my favorites, why am I keeping this? And although I love it and I think it works for so many different skin tones and I think it's really great, I don't know if I need it. And then there's the Tribe. I know that a lot of people love the Tribe palette, and I don't know. I mean, I love this shade. That's like what makes me want to keep it. Everything else, I don't know. I never got on with this one as much as everyone else did. So I think I'm going to get rid of this one and pass that one on. I don't know why. I was so excited for this color story, but this one just, I didn't click with as much. And honestly, just from doing that, I think I'm going to declutter the Warrior 2 as well. Even though I really love it, I'm going to get rid of it. And I know a lot of you guys know this, but I've been so into shimmers that, you know, an all matte palette like that, I just don't see myself reaching for that over so many other things in my collection. I'm gonna do some like one-off palettes for a little bit. We can start off with the Kevin Aquan if you want. Okay, this is like definitely staying. I think you guys already knew that. How can I hold this so you can actually see? But yeah, I know it's upside down, but this is so pretty. It's the Electro Pop. Some of the best like shimmers. They're very like metallic and kind of thick. It's so, so beautiful. I love this. I continue to love it. I'm keeping it. This is a newer one to me, the Zoeva Aristo. I always want to call it Artisto. It's not. The Aristo palette. I really do love the color scheme of this one. It's kind of muted, but then, I mean, if you really look at it, it has some really beautiful colors. This is like a chartreusey green. This blue is so beautiful. And then you have some of those neutrals to make it work as well. Something about it is like understated, but still colorful, but kind of chic. And I like it. I really like it. So I am going to keep that. This is something that was sent to me from a brand called You Can Be, I think. Yeah, You Can Be. And this is a dupe for the Lime Crime palette, the Venus Extra Large or something. I think it's fine. I've kept it because aesthetically I do think it's the packaging's pretty and all that. Color-wise, it's okay. Like, I don't know, it's very unique, but I also feel like the Lime Crime one's really unique. I think I'm gonna actually pass this on. I don't know what it is. There's just something about it that tells me that's what I want to do with it. So, I mean, it's not bad. I don't want to say it's bad. The shadows are very creamy. They're pretty pigmented, but I'm going to pass it on. Something tells me that's the right move. This is the Essentials palette from Violet Voss. This came in a Boxycharm, and I know this looks very basic, and it is, but I will tell you right now, I think Violet Voss's formula is really freaking good. It's one of my favorite formulas since I've been using the Best Life palettes that I depotted. I mean, I just think that the shadow formula is really great, especially too when I compare it to something like the Urban Decay, the Violet palette, what is it, Ultraviolet palette that came out. I mean, I just think they have a good formula, so I am going to keep this. It's a nice little basic, but still has some colors. I like it. I'm keeping it. This one makes it through like every freaking time. This is another one that makes it through every time. The Alamar palette. These shimmers, they just bring it. They bring it every time, you guys. So yeah, I'm keeping that. I'm keeping it. Like I said, I'm not trying to just get rid of stuff to get rid of stuff, and I feel like if I got rid of this, that's what it'd be. It'd be just to like declutter one more thing, and I still really like this. All right, these two, it's hard. So Celestial Thunder, this was another one that came in a Boxycharm, and the color story is pretty. I was so happy to get something from Dominique Cosmetics, but I think I'm going to pass this one on. I haven't used it. I have similar colors. I can reach for other things. This one looks a little glittery too, like a little sus. So I'm going to pass that on. This is going to go in the maybe pile for now. It's from W7. It's a dupe of the Viseart Editorial Brights, basically. But it's just a matte palette with a ton of bright shades. And I do really like this because it's really great for like ice cream eyes, where you take a shimmer of any color, a matte of any color, and you just like kind of blend them onto the eye, and you put the matte in the outer corner. And usually the shimmer would be something lighter in some way or just shimmery. Anyway, I think it's so perfect for that, and I think it's such a useful palette in that way. So I'm gonna keep it for now and just kind of see how things pan out with other colorful shadows that I have. Some more one-offs. I think we all know I'm gonna keep the Sugar Pill palette, which basically is similar. I mean, it's very similar to this, but this is a little bit more pastel. I love this so much. You guys know that, so definitely keeping that. The Persona palette, the Identity 2, it's another one I think is really quite great. So I think I'm gonna keep this too for now. It's like understated, but still colorful. I think the formula is really great, so that one's gonna stay as well. I think I kind of know my answer for this, and I think I'm gonna get rid of it just because I have the Sugar Pill palette, and then I know I have like colorful mattes in other places. So I think this is gonna go. Similar to that, this is gonna go. This is from Hank and Henry, Living in Color. Now, don't get me wrong, I think the color story is beautiful, and these shadows on the top row and these two are super textured. They're really beautiful. I am tempted to keep this, but I also know in my heart that these shadows don't compare to some of the most beautiful glimmery, shimmery eyeshadows in my collection, and then for that reason, I know that these are not going to get the love they deserve, and so I'd rather pass this on to someone who doesn't have those and who's going to like be just so excited about these than have these sit in my drawer and like I'm trapping them just because they're beautiful. So yeah, I'm gonna pass these on. This one's hard. I know it doesn't seem like it should be for me, but it is. I don't know. I don't know why I want to keep it, but I'm not going to. It's also quite bulky. I think they could have definitely made this thinner and even smaller, and that would have been probably would have had me keep it, like kind of tip me over the edge to keep it. I think for these last two, I'm going to get rid of both. So this is the Pretty Vulgar Nightingale palette, and this is more cool toned, as you can tell. And I know I've talked about how I want cool tone palettes, but this one just isn't it. Like, this is not the cool tone palette I want. It doesn't have these like yummy shimmers. It has like a lot of mattes. I feel like it goes very, very deep pretty fast, or it stays really light. Like, something about it is not the cool tone palette I want. So just because I want cool tones doesn't mean I'll take anything I can get, and this is like an example of that. So I'm gonna pass this on. I'm sure I can find someone who will use these colors and enjoy them since they're so neutral. And then similarly, Milani's, this is like the green palette, and this one I wanted for so long, and then my friend Simbri actually gave it to me because she had it, and I was like, oh wow, I'm so excited, like I can't wait to use it. I've never really used it. I don't, texturally, these shadows are very flat. Like, even if they have shimmer or glimmer to them, all of these shadows just feel very thin and kind of flat in texture, and I don't really love that. I also just haven't used it, and I should be if I'm going to keep this, so I know I'm never going to reach into this palette for greens. I'm passing it on. Let's talk about these palettes from Odin's Eye. First off, I mean, how beautiful. Are you kidding me? They're so pretty. They have this like kind of soft texture to them that I really enjoy. So let's look at the Freya. I think you guys told me it's Freya. I don't know why I didn't think about it being a Y and not an H sound, but you know. And this is what it looks like. This is the most neutral out of the two, and I will be keeping this. I actually really enjoy these like peachy shades. You guys know that. I think their formula is good, and they have a really good eye for having these really beautiful sparkly textures. They're pigmented. I've been very impressed so far. So yeah, definitely keeping this palette. Oh my gosh, look at I'm making a mess. I definitely want to keep this palette, even though it is more neutral. These peachy shades, you guys know, I've just loved. The Alva is their newest, and this one is so pretty. First off, I love how small the pans are, just because you don't need a ton of shades, and then they have so many of these really beautifully textured shadows all throughout. It's like a mauvey purple, but then they have this like yellow pop, which really complements the palette nicely. Yeah, definitely keeping that one. And then last, this is the Soul Main palette, and once again, I will be keeping this. I like this shadow is so pretty. This one is like a little weird. It's like pressed pretty hard, and as you can see, like not a ton comes up. So part of me kind of likes that. You can like really make almost like a bruised eye as you layer it, but I thought that one texturally was just different than the rest. Anyway, I still really like this, and I'm definitely keeping this one as well. Again, I've been really impressed with the shadow quality and formula of these, so I can't wait to like have less palettes and really be able to dig into these. I think I have like 3 more one-off palettes, so let's just finish those. I have this one from Storybook Cosmetics. This is the Briar Rose palette, and I'm tempted to keep this because formula-wise, I do really enjoy the shadows. I think they're really, really good. Like, very pigmented, well made, like all that, but it's so bulky, and I have these colors in my collection, so I'm just gonna pass it on. I know that I have someone who will love this, and I'm gonna give it to them. My Pat McGrath, of course, I'm going to keep. This one, honestly, I don't use this as much. I mean, I talk about this every time I talk about the Pat McGrath palette, but I don't use this as much as I thought I would, and I don't love it necessarily. I wish I went for maybe a different palette, but these 3 shades, even this one, these are what keep me with this palette. These like glimmery shades. I really love how like metallic and frosty these are, and I think it'd be perfect for that like ice cream eye I was talking about, so I'm going to be keeping this as well. Next on the docket, we have Dose of Colors. For not liking Dose of Colors formula, I sure as hell have a lot of their palettes. So I know for sure I want to get rid of Snow Angels. Again, not necessarily anything wrong, I just really haven't reached for it since I got it, so I just feel like it's a waste to keep it around, and I'd rather give it away to someone else, so that one's gonna go. I'm keeping the I Love Sarai palette. I just bought this and I think it's so pretty, so keeping that. I'm also keeping the Marvelous Mauves. I just want to use it more, and I don't have anything quite like this. So many people love this, like Samantha March, she like loves this thing to death, and I want to love it as much as her, and I'm keeping it until I do. No, but I do want to like try to make some looks with that. The Hidden Treasures palette, I think I decluttered, but then I like brought it back. I don't know. I couldn't like actually do it, but I'm gonna do it. I'm getting rid of this one. I got this in a Boxycharm. And then I think it's time even for this one, you guys. I think I'm gonna get rid of the Ice Cream palette. This is one of the like first times I had bought from Dose of Colors. I was so excited for this palette, and I have obviously, I made some good like dips in here, but I think it's time to pass it on. I just never reach for it, and I think I'm keeping it for nostalgia and because I used to use it and all of that, and I think it's time to let it go. So I'm gonna let this one go. So I'm only keeping the two, and they're like little guys. We'll just run through my Collidos. I can tell you right now I'm keeping all of them, but this is the newest palette, the Escape Pod. I have like a video like showing this more in depth if you're interested, but I will obviously be keeping that. It's so freaking pretty. This is Sci-Fi Greens. I'm keeping that. Electro Turquoise is probably my least favorite, but I'm still going to be keeping it. Astro Pink is probably my favorite in the 6-pan. I love it. Cyber Bronze. And then last, this is VR Neon. I'm keeping all of them. Really love their shadow quality and the formulas. So yeah, have to keep them. I only have 2 ABH palettes. I have the Jackie Aina, which I will be keeping. I think this is one of the best done like influencer collab palettes. It's so well thought out. I think that it really toes the line between neutral but still colorful, and I just think it's a really good release, so definitely keeping. Carly Bible I got after the fact, like on a really good sale, and some of these are so pretty, but unfortunately there's glitter in this shade and this shade. The more I've used this, the more I'm like, oh yeah, I understand the glitter. So I'm gonna keep this. Maybe I'll depot it, I don't know. I just hate that those have glitter, but then other shades, this formula is so soft, are so beautiful. I think this one also didn't get really the love maybe it deserved. Like, I think those shades are so stunning. So anyway, I'm keeping that. If I could go back in time though, I wouldn't have bought it again because of the glitter issue. What's next? Let's talk about Ofra. Ofra's a harder one for me. I know I'm keeping the Glitch palette, so this is the first Glitch palette. I think that they're kind of more subdued almost, but I do enjoy them. So I'm definitely keeping those, and it's like more cool toned. I also love that you can take them out of the pans. And then this is the Glitch 2000 or the second one, I don't know. But I love these shades. Like they're so pretty for more of like a satin, just like easy eye. I call it like a Hollywood smoky eye. These give you that easy Hollywood smoky eye where, you know, they just look glamorous, but it's not too done up and it's not too structured. So I will be keeping both of those. For the little 5-pan palettes, I know I want to keep Sweet Dreams. Oh, this is Galaxy. This is like the purple one. I think this is really pretty. I kind of want to keep that. This one's Sweet Dreams. This one I'm definitely keeping. It's like my favorite one. I love this one. Beachside is so fun. It's their newest one, I believe, and I want to keep it. I haven't played around with it, and I want to do a look with it. And then this one, I know I'm gonna pass this on, but I'm going to also film a look with it as well. I'm doing a video, but once that video is done, I'll pass it on. Not because the quality's not good. I think the quality's great. I just know I have all these shades. If I didn't, it'd be great, but since I do, I know I can pass this on and someone else will like freaking love it. So that one's just like I'm letting you know I will declutter it, but I'm gonna do a look with it first. And then I have this here, which is the Bright, let me take this off. Bright Addiction palette, and this I'm gonna keep because it's Ofra shades, and like I said before in so many videos, I do work with Ofra sometimes, and I love that we have some really bright colors that you don't necessarily see in like these palettes I just showed you, and I'd love to have these to be able to work with if I ever wanted to. Plus, it's kind of nice to have them, which I'm glad I got rid of that other palette because these are all matte, and so this can definitely work for anything I need, like these blues and stuff. It's perfect. So definitely keeping that as well. We're getting close, you guys. We're getting really close. Let's talk about Ace Beauté. I have the Flare palette, which unfortunately my brown in here broke, which is so disappointing, but I need to just clean it up. I'm definitely keeping it though. I wanted this palette for so long, finally bought it off of Boxycharm. I got it for like 12 bucks. It was like an amazing steal of a deal. So definitely keeping that. I've really enjoyed the looks I have created. And then same with the Oceanic palette. I'm definitely keeping this. I mean, look. How can you not love it? How can you not love that? I love it. Okay, keeping that one. I have some ColourPop here. I know I'm keeping Brown Sugar. I freaking love this. It's like my go-to travel palette. I mean, it has just everything you'd need. This shade here is one of my favorite. It has like a slight duochrome to it. There's nothing really more to say. Definitely keeping. The I Think I Love You palette is a little bit harder for me. I think that it has such beautiful shades. I think it might be time to depot some of these and then get rid of the ones I'm not gonna use. I think that's what I'll do. I'll probably keep that one. Maybe I'll keep that one. And then I think maybe I'll pass on the rest because honestly, I don't know. I think my bronze palette just kind of like is a lot of this. So if you have this, you might not need the bronze palette. It's just getting old. I don't know. It's so beautiful though. The formula is so great. Yeah, I don't know. I just want to be realistic with what I can actually use. It's a great palette though. If you have this and you want something that's neutral but shimmery, bust this thing out, guys. But that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna like go through and depot some of these and, you know, go with my other little singles from ColourPop and then get rid of this though. Next up, we have Urban Decay. I only have 2 palettes from them. I have the Wired palette, which I am gonna be keeping if only for Savage. I love Savage. I do like some of the other colors in here. They're not like the most pigmented, but I don't necessarily mind that with sometimes how I do my makeup. So that first look I created with this like kind of sold me on the palette. So yeah, I mean, I also got this as PR and didn't pay for it. So there is like, I didn't pay for this, and so I'm not disappointed in that way by anything about it. So I'm gonna keep that one. And then this is like the brand new one, the Naked Ultraviolet. I didn't really enjoy this. I really didn't. I think I want to do a duping video of this, so I might keep this palette for use in that video, but ultimately I know this will be decluttered from my collection. It just doesn't compare. It just doesn't. And then last, before we get into the like larger palettes, I want to go through some Huda Beauty. Lots of Huda going on. I have really enjoyed getting the Huda palettes. I've collected quite a few of them. I don't have every single one, but quite a few. Let's start with maybe the neons. I don't think I can let these go. I got them on such a good deal that even though I now know from having them that I don't need them, I don't think I can get rid of them. If I paid full price for these, I would have been disappointed. But since I didn't, they feel like they were $11 eyeshadow palettes when it comes to the shimmers. That's the thing. They look amazing in the pan, but the issue is getting it onto your eye. Like, that's what's so hard. And then I do think the mattes, though, are pretty decent. I've had good luck with the mattes. For me, I have nothing to necessarily complain about there. So I'm going to keep the pink one. The orange one, I think pigmentation wise was pretty dang good. Once again, it's just that same issue with the shimmers. They just kind of get hard pan. If you wet them and really foil them on, you can make something happen. It's just they're a little more finicky than, you know, they need to be. They're just okay. You know what I mean? And then the neon green, this is the one I wanted the most. Because look at these shimmers, you guys. They're like my hopes and dreams. And I still think, like, again, you can make them work. It just shouldn't be this tough. It really shouldn't. You shouldn't have to do all that to get them to work. But again, I'm going to keep them. I'm going to keep it. As for the, like, the gemstones, I love the green still. I mean, I don't have any of the... Like, this is what I expected, I guess. See how it's so much more pigmented, I feel like, than in the neon palette? I think I just expected more from... These are horrible, like, literally the worst swatches, but I'm just saying. Anyway, I'm definitely keeping that. I also think I'm going to keep this amethyst. I just love it. Juicy. I like that. The blue one, you know what? I think I'm going to pass the blue one on, even though this silver shimmer makes me want to keep it. Like, that alone, maybe I will for just this shade, because I'm telling you, you guys know I love, like, a cool toned eye. That would be so pretty. And this one, ooh, I don't know. I can't get rid of it. I'm not getting rid of it. What am I saying? Yeah, I'm going to keep that. Okay, just kidding. And then topaz, you think is going to be so boring, but it's so freaking beautiful. It's so pretty, you guys. I'm not going to get rid of that. I'm not. Okay, so then we have these two. This is the really bright palette, which I think is really nice, but I do have other ones now. Maybe I don't need it. And then this I do love still, so I'm going to keep that. I think it might be time to pass this one on. I have the new, like, wired palette. I have a lot of brights going on, so I'm going to pass this guy on. Okay, wow, we did something. My last 3 palettes, I have 2 of the Zodiac palettes, and then I have this the James Charles and Morphe palette. I've decided at this point in time to just declutter the James Charles. I actually didn't have any problems with formula. With just everything going on, I'm exhausted. I'm truly just exhausted by everything. And I know I'm never going to use this, like, on my channel, really. So there's that. Like, it's just... Yeah. So I'd rather give it to a niece, a nephew, anyone who wants it, and they can have fun, play around, do something that they want to with it, and it won't be in my collection anymore. Anyway, I'm gonna probably keep both of these. I have the Zodiac Love Signs, which I don't love as much as I love the original. The original to me is just, I love these, like, icy tones, although look at Libra. Look. Wowza. Look at Pisces. Ooh, Virgo. Like, this formula, get out of here. I'm sorry. Like, who needs Pat McGrath? No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, it's so good. I'm gonna keep these. I just need to bust them out. I, like, need to just put everything away and just only focus on these 2 because they are so pretty. So freaking pretty. So, yeah. Can't get rid of them. All right, guys, let me count up what I'm getting rid of, and we'll see how successful this was. All right, I ended up getting rid of 17 palettes. Not, like, I wouldn't say that's amazing, but I will say I think it will make a definite difference in my drawer. Like, I'll be able to put things away a little bit easier, be able to see things a little bit easier. And hopefully, you know, as I use more of this stuff, I'll get a better idea on some of the things that maybe I haven't used as much or what I prefer over other things. And that I feel like always helps. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I do have a palette collection. If you're looking for swatches on any of this stuff, I probably should have put this at the beginning, but I do have a video with a lot of these palettes in it from earlier this year, so I'll leave that linked if you want to see some swatches. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.